Good evening, demons. How's everybody doing? I know it's an hour later than we normally start, but I had to go into the city today for a doctor's appointment and balance trying to do a bajillion other things. Excuse me. So late start, but we usually only do 3 hours for VNs at a time anyway, so I should be okay. Should be? Question mark? But yeah, I left you guys on a bit of a not a big cliffhanger. Um, but it was still kind of a cliffhanger last week. I hope you all got to watch the VOD if you weren't there. Because this is one that I love this story so much, and I want everyone to read it. Just a medium cliffhanger. It won't kill you if you fall. Alright. Are you ready to go? Because I have learned recently that I'm just very impatient in general. So, yeah, bucket we ball. I always try to do like the no load. I always try to do like the just chatting for a bit right at the start of stream. I don't know. Maybe I should just get a different room for just chatting, and then maybe it'll feel not as rushed. I don't know. Anyways, let's see what the log was just to refresh. Right, they just got back from chasing after the pink light that was always like a set distance ahead of them. I quickly step in and then shut my bedroom door before Tara can say anything else. As I switch off the lights and crawl into bed, I remember the end of the train ride here. I felt the same just now, standing there, not knowing what to say. It would be so easy. I banish those thoughts from my mind and wrench my eyes shut. There will be time to worry about it tomorrow. I have time to think. We have a month. As I slowly drift off to sleep, the exhaustion that I feel winning out over the stress, the last thoughts I have are of dancing lights in the snow. You start to fall into a bit of a routine. Every day, Tara and I will get up and explore Eisenfeld or the surrounding area a bit. We never go too far into the forest, but just enough to set up some dramatic camera angles or to film some monologue segments for Tara. Once Morgan's done with work, she'll join us or show us around. Sometimes she brings her cat with her. Surprise, surprise, it still hasn't said a word. She keeps promising it eventually will, though. Ever since the night we saw the light in the trees, we've hoped to encounter something equally mysterious or interesting. No such luck, though. Any sort of hope or excitement that I had, any bit of belief that I'd allowed myself to build up, has been squashed back down to resigned indifference. My trademark, I know. It took about a week of this before Morgan asked us to wait for her at the cabin, saying she was ready to show us that thing she mentioned. She still wasn't any more forthcoming with what it was, but over the week we'd known Morgan, I'd gotten a little more comfortable with the idea. If she was going to leave us in a shallow grave or something, she'd had plenty of opportunities to do that already. The heavy clouds overhead promise a darker night than the past few, and probably heavier snowfall. We won't be able to stay out very late. Even with Morgan's guidance, the possibility of being caught in a snowstorm is hard to ignore. Tara paces back and forth outside as I linger in the doorway, trying to enjoy the warmth from the cabin for as long as I can. Finally, after a fashionable 15 minutes late, I spot Morgan heading down the trail from the village towards us. Tara zips off to intercept her, and the two of them approach together.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Work was a little busy tonight.
No worries.
Well, that answers one of the myths of the Eisenfeld that I was curious about. Whether or not anyone actually shops at Morgan's store. Tara bounces around between the two of us, raring to get going. Morgan smiles approvingly at her.
So... You said you had something special planned for tonight, right?
She spent the whole day trying to guess what it is.
I think I've narrowed it down. It's either a crashed UFO, the Fountain of Youth, or Elvis.
Those are the ones you narrowed it down to?
Someday, Mads, it's gonna be Elvis, and you're going to wish you'd believe me.
I love the Elvis is a cryptid theory. I face Morgan, pointedly turning my back to Tara.
Okay. We're ready to go if you are.
Do you both have flashlights? We're going to be heading a bit deeper into the woods this time.
We both hold up our lights in unison. After our first venture into the forest together, there's no way I'm ever going out there without us each having a flashlight. Just having one makes me feel more self-reliant. It helps suppress my anxiety a little bit. Just a little.
Great. Follow me.
You got a lot of this via osmosis? Oh, interesting. We circle back around the cabin and head into the woods. There's a musical joke to be made here.
I've been waiting to show you two this since you got here. You're going to love it.
Tara starts to vibrate again, clearly soaking up the suspense. As much as I hate to admit it, she's got me pretty curious too. I'm not sure what she could be keeping secret out here for so long.
This isn't going to be dangerous or anything, right?
Ha! Yeah, about that.
Probably not.
Probably.
I like those odds.
We set off at a fairly brisk pace. Tara makes point to walk right by Morgan's side, taking short and hurried strides. If she doesn't find out where we're going soon, I'm pretty sure she might actually explode.
Okay, I'm gonna keep guessing. Ancient graveyard, fairy circle, satanic ritual, Sasquatch den?
Satanic ritual, please.
Close. It's a church.
Tara stops dead in her tracks.
Wait, a church? Was Maddie right when she said you were gonna try to get us to join a cult?
I never said that.
Yeah, she said a lot of other stuff, but she didn't say that. I might have said that. Despite our antics, Morgan never stops or slows down.
Nothing like that, I promise. It's really old. Older than any of the buildings you've seen in Eisenfeld. The people who built it are ancestors of the residents today. I guess they were what you'd consider pagans. They worshipped a god of the forest.
Whoa.
I expect more to the story, but that seems to be Morgan's stopping point for now. She focuses on the path ahead, swinging her lantern around in an arc as she looks for whatever it is that's telling her where to go. Chat, I'm late. Did I miss the women? You're only like 10 minutes in. Don't worry, Lemon. Every single tree around me looks identical, but I guess one of them is a little more special than the rest. When she sees whichever one that is, she starts to lead us on again. My glasses start fogging up a bit more as we walk. I should have insisted that Tara layer up a bit more. It'd be a pretty crappy friend if I let her freeze to death out here.
So, to summarize, your great whatevers and the rest of the villagers built an old church out in the forest to worship a giant forest spirit, and that's what we're going to see right now?
Right.
Have I mentioned that this is going to be the best episode of the show ever?
Morgan's got Tara hanging on to her every word, hook, line, and sinker. I'm glad she's having a good time, at least. No thanks to me.
You said it's older than the rest of the village. Do you know how old?
Centuries, at least. I don't know how many. I've done some research on the history of Eisenfeld, but none of the books really mention it.
How'd you learn about it then?
A lot of it comes from old journals, or other documents left behind by the people who used to live here.
Ah, shit. Parts of it are passed down as family legends, too. Is the bit that I clicked at the fucking when I shouldn't have. The image of Evelyn and Morgan sitting cozily by a fire while Evelyn tells stories is one that I can't imagine actually happened. I'm not gonna pry into the details of that, though.
You think we could take a look at those journals sometime? Maybe we could show them off on the show. Authentic first-hand accounts, or something like that.
For some reason, now Morgan stops, looking ponderous. I also realize that it's starting to snow. Just barely, but enough to make me bite my lip and watch the sky.
I'd be happy to show you.
Score! You're seriously the best. Like, thanks for doing all this.
It's nothing, really. Don't all your hosts do the same?
No.
A lot of them only stick around for the first day or two. Then once they realize there's a lot of filming and setting up behind the scenes, they get bored.
For all our issues, I can't deny that Morgan's been a much more gracious and helpful host than we're used to. We walk in silence for a little bit. All the while, the snow continues to fall, getting heavier and heavier. At first, I try to ignore it, but it's hard. Like always, it seems it'll fall to me to be the responsible one.
Hey, Morgan? Are you sure it's safe to keep going? It's starting to snow pretty hard.
Both of them look up as if they hadn't noticed.
Oh, you're right.
Wow. Now it's Morgan who turns around and looks back the way we came. I can practically hear the gears turning in her head. Tara watches, looking anxious. Oh, so she only worries if Morgan starts to look uncomfortable.
It's going to get bad pretty soon.
She says it so matter-of-factly that at the first, the severity of her words don't register. Then, every single alarm bell in my head starts ringing.
What? How soon is pretty soon? And how bad?
I'd say within the next half hour. Those clouds don't look good.
That's an understatement. They seem to be moving almost impossibly fast. Just like that, the weather has gone from a light snow to the start of a blizzard.
We need to turn back then. Back to the cabin.
I take a couple of steps, but the fresh snow has made it harder to walk. Even the trail that we just left has been partially obscured.
We're closer to the church than the cabin. I think we should go there and wait it out.
Wait it out? What if it doesn't just pass by? What if we're stuck there for days?
It's better than being dead, you know.
turn to her in disbelief.
No shit it is!
Morgan wrings her hand, looking genuinely distressed.
I don't know what's going on. I don't think it was...
Once again, she looks back at the direction we came from, lost in thought.
We're just wasting time standing here arguing, you know. Morgan said we should go to the church, and she's the expert.
I'm loath to call her an expert at this point, but Tara's right that we don't have time to spare. We're definitely in dire straits if she's the one being the voice of reason.
Fine, let's get going then.
We don't waste any more energy on talking. We just follow Morgan as closely as we can. The light from her bounces in the wind, reminiscent of the light we followed just a few short days ago. I focus on it, using it as a beacon, since it's easier to keep track of than Morgan herself. I bury my face into my scarf as much as I can, feeling the wind push against me and making it harder to walk. By now, the world around us is starting to grow more and more blurry. It'll be a whiteout before long. My heart beats hard in my chest as my anxiety starts to skyrocket. We keep walking, huddling closer together as we press on. Tara keeps a brave face, but she's shuddering more with each step. Morgan and I push a little closer to her, hoping to help shield her from the wind as much as we can. When we get back, if we get back, I'm not letting her take another step outside until she agrees to start wearing something warmer. After what feels like years, we come to a stop. My legs are leaden with the effort of marching through the snow. I'm afraid that Morgan's going to say that we're lost, but then I realize that we've arrived. Just ahead, a huge stone building stands tall. For its supposed age, it looks remarkably intact. The howling winds buffet it, but even from here, it looks infinitely safer than being stuck out here. A pair of massive wooden doors loom before us.
Just give me 1 second and I'll get this open.
She grabs a hold of the door and starts to pull. The freezing wind works against her, and for a tense moment I worry that she wouldn't be able to get them open. But then with a creak that's audible even in this weather, they slide open to let us in.
After you.
We don't need telling twice. Tara and I hurry inside, with Morgan letting the door slam shut behind her as she follows. The first thing that strikes me is the temperature. An old stone building in the middle of a blizzard should be frigid, but it's not. In fact, it's almost warm.
Mads, we hit the jackpot!
Her shout reverberates around the massive chamber, leaving a faint echo in its wake. When Morgan said a church, I figured it would be some small wooden shack with a tacked-on steeple, but this... Tara's flashlight beam dances wildly along the walls as she spins in circles, trying to take in every last detail all at once. This is nothing short of incredible. I let my light drift as well, but slowly enough that I can actually take the time to process what I'm seeing. The whole interior is remarkably well preserved. A few broken pews, a couple of pieces of collapsed stone, and a layer of dust on nearly every surface are the only things that make the place seem anything less than brand new. Looking closer at the building itself, I can see various flourishes or designs decorating the walls and railings. Whoever built this place, they built it as a labor of love. The centerpiece is a massive stained glass window that dominates the center of the far wall. Its brilliant colors form an intricate pattern. I make my way over to Morgan, who is currently watching Tara dart around the building with a small, satisfied smile. It dissipates as I approach. Even though I'm relieved to be out of the storm, I can't believe we ended up in this situation in the first place. Before I can say anything, though, she beats me to it.
I'm really sorry about this. I truly am. If I'd thought the weather would turn so foul, I'd have never suggested we come out here. The last thing I want to do is place you and Tara in any danger. I just wanted to show the two of you something tangible. Something different.
I swallow my harsh words. Chastising her wouldn't do us any good. Plus, she's right that the weather changed way faster than I would have expected, or even thought possible. So I just rub my shoulders, trying to massage some warmth back into them.
Don't apologize yet. There's still plenty of time for us to die of starvation or something like that.
Okay.
I think it's more likely that we die of exposure first.
Well, that's reassuring. Suddenly a beam of light swipes across my face. It comes from Tara on the other side of the building.
Hey, come check out these books!
Morgan and I both start to head over.
By the way, how do you keep it so warm in here? I was looking for a heater or something, but couldn't find one.
It's magic, I think.
Yep, just straight up magic. You know what? I'm not even gonna argue. Tara's waiting excitedly next to a stack of books. That's probably a first.
Check it out!
The wooden shelves are warped and damaged beyond repair, but still have retained their shape pretty well. The books that line them are in a similar condition. When I remove one, its once soft cover is cold and rigid, and the text is faded into illegibility. But flipping through the pages, a few of them are still readable. Or at least would be if I could understand the language.
Tell me these aren't filled with ancient incantations or something.
These aren't filled with ancient incantations.
She holds up a book to her face and blows a puff of air towards me, filling my face with dust. I wrinkle my nose, coughing and spluttering.
Hey, what the hell? You don't know what's floating around in here?
You're literally the only person alive who could be in a haunted church and not care at all.
No, I think there's plenty.
She never said it was haunted, you know? And I'm sorry that I'm still a bit too shaken up over, you know, almost dying in a snowstorm.
Psh, we weren't ever in any real danger, I'm sure. Isn't that right, Morgan?
About that.
Actually, I wasn't sure we were going to make it here.
Tara's eyes widen, the reality of the situation hitting her at last. Then she grins.
That makes this an even more badass story for the vlog. Mads, you'll have to go hard on the wind sound effects. Maybe we should set the camera outside, get some footage of the blizzard?
Ah, yes, get some footage of, you know, white-ass snow and not being able to see 5 feet in front of your fucking face. She hurries over to where I'd abandoned the camera on one of the pews and picks it up, dancing around as she frames mock shots. The consequences of her actions are catching up and she doesn't give a damn.
Not yet, they're not.
I open my mouth to tell her how dumb that is when a trickle of dust spirals past me. The whole church shakes with a slight tremor and more dust is displaced.
Earthquake?
That would be the icing on this cake. It would be horrifically ironic if we survived the blizzard only to die in a freak earthquake. Something tells me that's not what this is, though. There's another tremor, slightly stronger this time, and with it a distant boom like someone shooting a cannon in the forest. The three of us exchange a glance silently. For once, even Tara is silent. Boo. The stained glass window rattles. I hear Morgan suck in a breath. When I look at her, her eyes are wild and confused. Boo. The thunderous sound is getting closer. Then there's another sound. A blistering crack that I recognize as a tree splintering. No winds, no matter how strong, should be able to do that. Wordlessly, Tara heads over to the front doors. My first instinct is to call her back to what I hope is safety. I find myself more curious than afraid. I have to know what it is. I have to see it. Morgan lingers behind, unsure of what to say or do. Tara reaches the doors and presses her shoulder against it. She pushes the door open just a crack, or at least she tries to. But the terrifying wind catches and rips the doors all the way open as if presenting the scene before us. I struggle to comprehend what I'm seeing. An immense monster towers over the trees and church, putting all of Maddie's doubts to rest. It has antlers and glowing red eyes. Taller even than the trees, stands what I can only describe as a monster. Two enormous, luminous red eyes peer out across the black expanse of the night sky. Neither the howling wind nor the biting snow seem to affect it at all.
Oh my god.
That's not possible.
This can't be happening. This can't be real. My legs are about to collapse under me. My heart drops like a rock in my chest, and every heartbeat sends a rush of blood through my body so strong it drowns out the cacophonous storm. Tara fumbles with the camera, her hands shaking violently. Cursing, trembling, she struggles to lift it up to her face, repeatedly losing her grip as she tries to focus on the thing in front of us. I don't know how she can even have the presence of mind to do that. My thoughts are a blur as my mind does its best to process what I'm seeing. It's like the forest itself come to life. Like a whole mass of trees just uprooted themselves from the ground to form something that can't possibly exist. Branches twist and contort into each other. One tree splits into 10. Wood, rotting into decay and growing anew again, spin from the impossible red center. Two immense horns pierce the sky, looking like lightning bolts permanently imprinted against the clouds. Every thought that I can manage to form is fleeting. Every rational part of me tells me that what I'm seeing shouldn't exist, that it isn't possible. Yet here it is. Undeniable. And all I can do is stare. The red glows brightly, burning my eyes like it's staring right back at me. Maybe it is. The beast shuffles forward, its feet obscured by the forest below. With each movement, there's another massive echo. Trees crackle and snap beneath its immense weight like twigs, flattened to nothing and buried under the snowfall. Slowly, the beast lumbers off into the night and is swallowed from sight by the darkness. Soon, even the sounds of its footsteps fade too. I'm not sure how long Tara and I remain in petrified silence. I realize that I've fallen to my knees, though I have no recollection of it happening. I feel like I have no recollection of anything. That nothing will ever make sense again. At some point, Morgan comes to my side, helping Tara and I back indoors. My whole body is numb with either shock or the cold, perhaps both. She leads us to one of the benches that's mostly intact. I collapse down onto it, my legs still unwilling to support me. I glance at Tara. All the color is gone from her face and she's still trembling. I probably don't look much better. For a long time, none of us know what to say. We sit and wait and wait till long after the snow has stopped falling and morning arrives. Chapter 2. I hope you guys got a good look at that chapter image there. I don't say a word on the way back to the cabin. How can I? How do you vocalize the knowledge that your core understanding of the world just turned out to be wrong? Feels like the ground beneath my feet dropped out from under me. My steps are unsteady and I feel nausea come up like waves. My head pounds hard. I've always prided myself on my healthy skepticism, but I can't deny what's right in front of me. My thoughts scramble to find some way to explain it, some way that I can piece it together in a way I can understand. But it's hopeless. Tara is still struck mute. I'd expect her to be bouncing off the walls, to be unable to calm down. After all, this is what she's been after for years. Ever since we started the show. Ever since she first had the idea for the show. Now that we finally actually found something, neither of us know how to react. She keeps playing the short clip she recorded over and over again, watching it until the battery runs dry. A lot of it is unusable due to snow and her shaking hands. But there are still a good few seconds of clear, uninterrupted footage. Her ratings are going to go off the charts. We're going to have to prepare for endless barrages of questions and accusations of doctoring the footage. This will mean interviews, national news, maybe even a book deal. Nothing will ever be the same again. But all we can manage is silence. Morgan's the only one who seems somewhat calm, though even she's a bit shaken. She's the one who coaxes us to leave the church and start heading back to town. It's the obvious thing to do, yet somehow the suggestion sounds like a crazy idea that I would have never come up with myself. All of my thoughts are mush. If it weren't for Morgan, I'm sure Tara and I would both end up wandering the woods in total shock. I can barely manage a slow stumble as I follow from way behind. Thick, fresh snow impedes the path. The blizzard subsided, but the harsh winds bite at my exposed skin. It all feels like too much.
Maddie, are you okay?
It takes me a few seconds to even register her voice, and a few more to realize she's looking back at me with genuine concern.
Yeah, I'm fine.
My brain screams to ask for help, and my body feels moments away from collapsing. But what kind of help could she give me? I can only focus on reaching our destination. Morgan looks like she wants to respond, but instead resumes her trek forward, this time moving at a somewhat slower pace. After a while, the faintest light in the distance comes into view. The cabin. Our light, our only refuge in the darkness. Tara's pace quickens to a near sprint, like she had been waiting for this moment. She rushes and crosses the distance, disappearing inside. Morgan walks alongside me. She opens the door, following in behind me. I feel a sudden pang of guilt over how much I've disregarded her before now. Especially since she was actually right. As soon as I reach the couch, my legs give out from under me and I fall onto it like a ton of bricks. It isn't until I hit the cushions that I realize I nearly crushed Tara, who was already collapsed next to me.
Sorry.
She doesn't say anything. She might not have noticed. You thought that getting back to the cabin and safety would renew her enthusiasm. She should be running circles around me, screaming, "I told you so." Everything about her whole existence has just been validated. But she's just looking down at the ground without saying a word. Her bangs obscure her eyes, making her face unreadable. Her chest rises and falls in an odd rhythm. Then I realize that, just like me, she's still trembling. The monster's silhouette flashes through my head again. Huge and terrifying, the red light shining down to the very center of my being.
Here, this will help.
She sets down 2 glasses of water down on the table in front of us. I didn't even register her coming over here. Tara clears her throat and leans forward.
Thanks. Seriously.
They're the first words that she's spoken in what feels like hours. She manages a small sip, but most of it dribbles down her shirt. I don't even reach for my glass, knowing that my hands are just as shaky, if not more. My entire worldview was shattered. And it's going to take more than just a walk in the snow and a glass of tap water for everything to sink in.
How are you not freaking out? Have you seen that thing before?
No, that was my first time as well.
She doesn't answer the other part of my question. Tara continues to slowly drink her glass of water while mine remains untouched. At some point, Morgan goes into the kitchen and prepares a pot of coffee. I can hear her rummage around in the fridge and smell the coffee as it brews, but neither register beyond a cursory awareness. What does get my attention is when she sets 2 steaming mugs down in front of us, hot coffee sloshing over onto her hands.
Drink this. It'll help.
I do as I'm told, lapping at the brew since it's too hot to sip. Tara does the same. Morgan sits beside her on the couch, draining her own mug much faster than we do as she gazes out the window. By the time I'm about halfway through my own, I do feel a bit better. Whether that's because of the warmth, caffeine, or just the placebo effect, I'm not sure. Once we're finished, we just lapse back into preoccupied silence. Yet again, it's Morgan who breaks it.
I think the 2 of you should take some time to relax. I need to get home soon too, before I arouse too much suspicion. Does that work for you?
I looked to Tara, who doesn't seem to have even heard what Morgan said.
Yeah, sounds fine.
The more I think about it, the more appealing it sounds. Right now, I want nothing more than to curl up in my bed, cocoon myself in blankets, and sleep for a while.
Okay, I'll see you later then.
Never one for long goodbyes, Morgan heads straight for the door.
I'll message you soon.
She leaves before either of us can respond. We sit. And sit. I don't know for how long. Longer than I've ever seen Tara sit still. I just don't know what else to do. As much as I'd like to, I know we can't just sit here forever. The knowledge that we'll soon have to return to mundane, everyday things feels unreal. We just witnessed something magical and life-changing. How could we just go back to normal life? But I know that in truth, the world hasn't changed at all. Just our knowledge of it. No matter how long we wait, the outside world will continue to pass us by. It feels like an eternity passes, but Tara's voice breaks through the silence. I'm not sure if I fell asleep or not, but I react with a start and my heart beats 100 miles per hour.
So, what do you think?
About which part? There's a lot to take in.
Yeah. About all of it. Or any of it.
While she sits, she idly pulls on a loose thread from a blanket close by. She pulls and unravels it even further. I don't think she notices she's doing it.
I think the main thing is that I wonder what else is out there now. Not just in the forest, but in the whole world. Are there more of those things? Or is it the only one of its kind? And how did no one ever see it before? There's just so much that I don't know how or what to feel. What about you?
Again, she shrugs.
The same, pretty much.
There's no way you're not gonna get that BooTube award now, you know?
It's a surefire joke. It should be an easy smile. But she doesn't react at all.
Probably not. Think I'm gonna crash. Good night, Mads.
Just like Morgan, she gets up and leaves without even giving me time to reply. There's barely 5 seconds between her saying it and her bedroom door slamming shut behind her. It's not at all the kind of response I'd expect from Tara. But these are far from normal circumstances. All that I can do now is wait for her or for Morgan. Wait and wonder. After a late night spent researching, I awaken around 11 in the morning, a good 2 or 3 hours later than I usually get up. I get dressed in a hurry, not wanting to keep Tara waiting before we head into town. It would be a pretty ironic twist, though, since usually I'm the one who has to wait for her to get ready after late nights. I have a sheaf of notes that I took and a hand cramp to match. I'm not sure how useful all of it will be, but it's at least a starting point. Tara's good at seeing the hidden connections and putting pieces together too. It makes for entertaining videos, even without results. Out in the living room, a lukewarm pot of coffee and a used mug are the only indication that she's awake.
Hey, I'm up now. Slept in a little. I'll be ready to go in a sec.
I call out from the kitchen, preparing my own cup of coffee. She doesn't respond. I wonder if she can't hear me with the door closed. I go and knock on the door, being careful not to spill any coffee on myself. No response. I knock again, louder. Most likely she has her headphones in. That or she fell back asleep.
You ready? I'm good to go. I have a bunch of notes and research too. Maybe we could go over some of it with Morgan.
Silence. She's not that heavy of a sleeper. I knock again, even harder, but she still doesn't answer. I jiggle the doorknob a little bit. Turns easily. I open the door slowly, giving her ample time to yell and interrupt me. But she doesn't. Her room is empty. She left without me. I let go of my carefully arranged papers, suddenly not really caring that much about them as they flutter to the floor. My hand shakes, hard enough for coffee to spill out of the mug and staining the pages below. So that's how it is. Whatever it is. I swallow the lump in my throat, forcing myself to not overreact. Maybe she tried to wake me up and I slept through it. Or maybe she just went out for a walk and will be back soon so that we can go into town. There are 100 different benign scenarios for what could have happened, but in my heart, I know that she ditched me. Plain and simple. I go to the sink and dump out the coffee, my appetite suddenly gone. Then I pick up the papers that I dropped. A few are ruined beyond legibility from the coffee, but it's not like anyone will miss them. I throw them in the trash along with the sodden paper towels that I used to clean up the spill. I gather the rest of the papers into a pile and leave them on the kitchen counter. Throwing them away feels like a waste, but I don't really want to look at them right now. I retreat back to my room and slam the door, even though there's no one around to hear it. I put on a film at random for background noise more than anything. My thoughts start to wander before the opening credits are even finished. What exactly was it that I did that upset Tara so much? Before Morgan took us to the church, things were fine between us, if not a bit tense. But I was working on my attitude, and she didn't seem bothered. And since seeing the monster, both of us have said so little. So I'm just left wondering what I did wrong. I wish that she would talk to me and at least help me understand. I'm about 15 minutes into the film before I realize that I have the French audio track playing without subtitles, and that I haven't understood a word of it. I close my laptop and stare blankly at the wall, since it's the only thing I can do and not mess up right now. It isn't long before I hear the crunching of 2 pairs of footsteps outside, as well as the low murmur of conversation. The front door bursts open, and from my room I can hear the din of Tara entering.
Gotta be related to the stuff in the journals. There's no way they're not talking about the same thing. Just send all those pics to my email address when you can. This is gonna be so freaking good.
Sure thing.
I sit paralyzed in my bed. Should I ignore them? Go out and act like nothing's out of the ordinary? Part of me wants to just hide in my room, but the way Tara and I have always gotten over our arguments is by being open about our issues. Y'all just had baby's first eldritch encounter. Stop taking her behavior personally. When you've been working together and they're like best friends, as long as they have, I think it's fair to take it personally here. Like, you just experienced something huge together, and instead of talking with you about it, she runs off and, says, no, I'm gonna go talk with this other person and not even bring you with me. Plus, Tara would know that I'm at the cabin, so if she brought Morgan back here, I doubt she's trying to avoid me. Maybe they came back specifically to include me. Hoping for the best, I head out into the living room. Tara's brewing a pot of coffee while Morgan leans against the counter. A few books that she must have brought from home are stacked beside her. She glances up as I enter.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey there.
Tara nods without facing me.
What are the books?
I nod at the stack. Tara sets 2 cups of coffee in front of her and Morgan and slides the books towards herself.
They're the journals she mentioned on the walk to the church. She was letting me take a look at them.
She puts an emphasis on the word me, like she's the only one who's allowed to. Maybe that's the case. This isn't off to a great start.
I see you've picked up a coffee habit too, huh? Morgan's really rubbed off on you.
Yeah.
She turns to face Morgan, being sure to exclude me from what she says.
Okay, we can chill in my room. Might want to grab one of the spare chairs from out here.
Oh, okay.
It's a small consolation, but I can tell that even Morgan feels a little uncomfortable with the situation. She gives me a sympathetic look, but doesn't say anything. Just why is Tara acting like this? If she would just tell me, we could work it out. I stick out an arm, halting Morgan as she carries the chair across the cabin.
Tara, can I talk to you for a sec?
The two of them exchange a look, but I can't tell what it's supposed to mean. Then she shrugs. I gesture towards my room, and she follows me in. I shut the door.
Can you please, tell me why you're mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
I scoff.
Whatever you want to call it, why are you treating me like this?
Like what?
I can already feel myself starting to get angry, but I try to keep it under control.
Please don't play dumb like that. You barely talked to me for 3 days, you ditched me this morning, and now you're going out of your way to exclude me. I don't know how to interpret that as anything other than mad. I have no idea what I said or did to piss you off, so I don't even know what to apologize for.
Tara runs a hand through her hair and looks around my room. It's the first time she's been in here since we arrived in Eisenfeld. It's more or less a carbon copy of hers, so I don't know what's so interesting about it.
I'm not mad, I'm just not wasting your time with this stuff anymore. I can take it from here.
I'm not quite sure I heard her right.
Sorry, what?
I said I can take it from here.
Take what exactly?
The vid. I mean, you're quitting anyway, so I've got to learn how to do all this on my own, right?
But that's not...
I don't even know what to say to that.
Why not ask me at least? Or even tell me? That's so screwed up.
How do you figure? Every day since we've got here, you've talked about or at least shown how you don't want to be here. You even said it yourself. You had to make an effort to be less bitchy whenever we go out. So, now that there's a solid lead, I can figure out the rest of it myself. Or at least with Morgan's help. If you want, I can buy you an early train ticket home or something. Next one should be coming through in a day or two. You don't have to keep pretending to care.
The whole time, her tone never changes. It's flat and emotionless. I wonder if that's another result of Morgan's influence. I wait, expecting there to be more, hoping that there's more. There isn't. I stand there, dumbfounded. Tara shrugs again and then leaves, closing my bedroom door behind her.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's get those journals.
I can still hear her talking to Morgan through the wall, bright and chipper. My legs feel weak all of a sudden, and I collapse onto my bed. Through everything, my own misgivings and concerns about my future, choosing to quit the show and telling Tara about it, and even witnessing the monster at the church, I've managed to keep my composure. But for the first time in I don't know how long, I can't stop it any longer. I cry. All of this feels so unfair. Of course I didn't want to be here. It's been a waste of time every single other time. I get it. I was the skeptic, the non-believer, only humoring her in all her exploits and playing as her foil. I rained on her parade constantly. And now, after everything that's happened, she was right. I can't deny that. But why does that mean I don't deserve to be involved in it now? Yeah, you rethinking what you said there, Lemon? Hmm? You think that she was, right to take it a little personally? Maybe she took my leaving personally, even though I swore that wasn't the case. I was only doing what was right for me. I needed to move on and do something with my life, so is it really my fault that meant I had to stop playing around with paranormal stuff? After these past couple days, I was even starting to reconsider that. Maybe staying on the show wouldn't be so bad. Once the episode goes live, everything will be changing. But now I don't feel like that's an option. Like she'd even want me there anymore. I feel like everything in my life has changed in just a few short days. Like I'm lost at sea without anything to hold on to. My best friend in the whole universe, whole world is at the epicenter of it all. And I'm thousands of miles from home. Through the walls, I can faintly hear the sound of Morgan and Tara discussing whatever it is. Not nearly loud enough for me to make out any words, but enough to be reminded of my exclusion. I wonder if Tara knows how upset I am, or if she expected me to be grateful. Neither would surprise me. I cry until my eyes are dry and sore, but I don't feel any better. The walls of my bedroom feel claustrophobic, and the vague sound of Tara talking is insufferable. I hurriedly bundled up and slip out of my bedroom and out the cabin to get some fresh air. The cold is just barely more manageable today, but it's still preferable to the atmosphere inside. It stings my wet cheeks, burning reminders of my unhappiness. I pick a direction at random and start heading into the forest. As long as I don't make any twists or turns and just go in a straight line, I won't be able to get lost. After what I've seen, the woods feel especially hostile now. I wonder what else could be lurking in the shadows or farther amongst the trees. Countless possibilities that I'd never considered are suddenly plausible. But for once, I don't hesitate. I just walk, my feet automatically stepping over roots and other forest debris. Underfoot, the snow is slushy and messy. My head feels the same. My heart hurts. Everything hurts. My nose burns from crying, the cold only exacerbating the effect. What am I supposed to do? what am I supposed to say? I just feel lost. I reflect on the show and the years I've spent with Tara and wonder how it all came to this. The show had been her idea, of course, but I was the one who encouraged her to go through with it. She'd always had a flair for the dramatic, whether it was the school play, or her old blog, or even the over-the-top fanfic she used to write. And I'd always be there to support her, whatever it was. I'd go over her lines with her and help her rehearse, or even edit or fix. When she first had the idea for Terranormal and combining her two biggest interests, cryptids and herself, I was the only person who said she should go for it. I even came up with the name, which I'm still pretty proud of. At first I thought it would just be another entry in a long list of harebrained ideas that Tara would start and quickly lose interest in. I gave it 2, maybe 3 episodes tops before she got bored, but the reception was good and the views started coming in. So did the ad revenue and the sponsorships. What had started as a weekend hobby turned into a weekend responsibility, and then into a day job. My role went from holding a cheap camera and stitching together the footage to actually learning proper video editing and investing in decent equipment. It seemed only natural that I'd be the one to handle all of the invites, fan mail, inquiries, and more. The professional side of things. I put my life on hold for the show. Quit college halfway through my film studies degree and moved out of my cheap student housing. I gave up my barista job and the store manager promotion I'd been hoping for. I dropped everything in order to help Tara make the best show possible. Sure, it wasn't like I had it rough. Tara's always split the royalties with me and pays for the expenses herself. The two of us have done pretty well for ourselves. Better than we had any right to expect. But at the end of the day, it was still always about Tara. Her name in the title, her name on the contracts, her name in the fan mail. Tara, Tara, Tara. And when it's all over, when the final episode someday goes up and she moves on, she'll be able to take that name with her anywhere. That success, that popularity, and all I'll have is the memory. The more I dwell on it, the more unfair Tara's behavior seems. I can feel anger overcoming my sadness. How could she say I'm only pretending to care? I gave up years of my life for her and dedicated them to making her look good. Without me, she'd never have been able to balance running the business side of the show while actually making it. Hell, she's not even close to being tech-savvy enough to do what I do. Part of me wants to spin around right now and go back to the cabin and demand an apology. But I know how that would go. She'd just get defensive. And even if she did say she's sorry, she wouldn't mean it. It wouldn't actually fix anything. We'd just be back to where we started when we first got to Eisenfeld. Awkward and tense. There isn't really a good solution that I can think of. But I have to do or say something. I can't just leave things as they are. Her offer for an early trip home lingers in my mind. I'm sure she'd make good on that promise. It sounds pretty tempting too. In less than 3 days, I could be comfortable, warm, and back in my own bed. I'd never have to think about Morgan, or Eisenfeld, or forest spirits, or weird churches, or floating lights again. I could just move on with my life in the same way I've been planning to once I get home anyway. As I think that, though, I know it's not really an option. I'd never be able to live with myself if I let it all go unresolved. Two piercing red eyes shine in my memory, and I know there's no way I'd be able to forget about them. Remembering the monster makes me stop and take stock of my surroundings. I've been walking at a pretty good rate, unhindered by the weather and fueled by my bad mood. There's a small clearing just up ahead, and it looks like it might be a good spot to take a short break. It's not very big, I realize when I reach it. I could toss a stone from one side to the other. It doesn't feel as stifling as the rest of the forest, though. I clear my throat. It's the only noise I can hear. The sounds of the village don't travel this far. They barely reach the cabin, for the most part. Overhead, the sky is crystal clear blue for the first time that I can remember. It's still freezing, but it isn't cloudy. Not even an airplane or vapor trail disturb the tranquility. I rub my eyes and defog my glasses. I must look like a real mess out here. I do feel a little bit better, though. The fresh air alone has helped to clear my head. The snow underfoot is well trampled from my stomping around, and mud mixes with the slush to form a thin paste that sticks to my boots. If there was somewhere to sit down, this place would be perfect. I make do with leaning against a tree that's mostly dry. I need to remember how I got here. It would be nice to have a place of my own to retreat to when I need it, away from the other two. Just as I'm enjoying the tranquility, there's a rustling sound overhead, and I look up just in time to get a face full of snow as it slides off a branch. We all know that pain, right, chat? Perfect timing. I cough and splutter, wiping away as much of it as I can. A lot of it still falls into my clothes. Oh, I can feel that chill. I flap my jacket like wings, trying to knock it out. Right then, from the corner of my eye, a quick motion catches my attention. It's gone too fast for me to notice more than a glimpse of fabric, and I turn around to see who it was. But there's nothing there, and no sign of anything having been there. Heart pounding, I walk over in the direction it came from, looking for footprints or something. There's nothing. I rub my eyes. Maybe it was the snow messing with my vision. Snap. The harsh, unmistakable sound of a branch breaking cracks behind me. I spin around, expecting to see Tara there with a dumb smile on her face for having spooked me. But again, there's nothing. I pull my coat tighter around myself and press my back against a tree.
Hello? Is someone there?
My voice resounds through the clearing, but goes unanswered. In the middle of the clearing, a mysterious woman appears for just a moment. She has long pink hair and a lavender nightgown. Despite the snow, she's barefoot. Again, a flash of movement from the corner of my eye. This time, I'm sure I see it. A glimpse of purple darting behind a tree. I start towards it, hand reaching, but without a clear plan in mind. Just like a dog chasing cars, I don't know what I'll actually do if I catch it. I walk into the middle of the clearing, turning a slow circle, hoping to spot whatever it was.
Can you hear me? Hello?
It already knows I'm here. There's no point in trying to hide. Snow crunches off to my left and I pivot just in time to see a girl disappear behind yet another tree.
Hey, wait!
I may as well not be saying anything for all the effect it seems to have. I hurry to the tree where I saw her, but she's gone. I'm just running in circles, chasing after who knows what. My heart beats like a kick drum. A million possibilities race through my head, each more fantastic than the last. Maybe she's from the village. Maybe I imagined her. Maybe she's another forest spirit. Maybe she's the same forest spirit we saw before in a different form. Any of them could be true. I've seen now that nothing is impossible. I look all around, searching for a clue and finding none. This is a bad idea, I know. Every single fairy tale I've ever read warns that this is a bad idea. Chasing after mysterious girls in the woods never ends well. You say that, but it hasn't produced any ill outcomes for me. She could be luring me into her secret lair, or could even be a disguise for some kind of terrible monster. Maybe it's the forest spirit, come to exact revenge for trespassing in its territory. I should turn and run and race back to the cabin. If I told Tara and Morgan, I'm sure this is the kind of thing that would override Tara's annoyance, at least for now. Could be our chance to patch things up, pursuing some new mystery. Or I could not tell Tara. I could solve the mystery itself. Whatever it is. For the first time, something happened to me that doesn't involve Tara. I could keep it that way. My hand is trembling, but I reach out in the direction I last saw the girl, more as a sign of openness than anything else.
Are you still there?
Silence.
If you can hear me, can you let me know?
No response. My fingers close over empty air. This is stupid. I feel like an idiot talking to no one. If she wanted to be caught, she would have let me, I'm sure. But then, if she didn't, then what was the point of even showing herself?
I'll come back tomorrow, okay? If you'll be here again.
It feels desperate. It is desperate. But I can't let this chance go. Not when this could be all I have. A light breeze blows through as if to answer. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I stand there, hoping for another sign. I give up and turn back towards the path home. I see it, just for a split second. A bright pink light, crystal clear and the color of a sunset, flashes just once. It's the same as the one we chased through the forest several days ago. My breath catches in my throat. My muscles tighten, poised to follow, but my common sense overrides. As much as I want to, I can't just go running off into the forest on my own. probably never find my way back. I swallow. If it can understand me like it seems to, then I'll see it tomorrow, since I've had more time to prepare. I face the direction the light came from, even though it's gone now.
I'll be back tomorrow. I promise.
Morgan and Tara never noticed me come home. They might not have even noticed that I left. I don't make any efforts to talk with them. I'm still too angry with Tara. Instead, I spend the rest of my day in my room watching films or reading. All of the research that I was so eagerly working on is put aside, stuffed into a folder that's out of sight on my hard drive. I have my own project now, my own lead to explore. The thought of that light and the mysterious girl in the woods stays on my mind through it all. Even late into the night, I can hear that Morgan's still over in Tara's room with her. At some point, the sounds go from conversation to something else. I turn up the volume on my computer. They can do whatever they want. It's well past midnight when my eyes finally get heavy enough to sleep.
They fucking...
The next day, I head straight to the clearing without telling anyone, nearly 24 hours to the minute since I left it. From the thick clouds overhead, I can tell it's going to be a short trip. Still, I have to go, at least to see. My heart thumps with anticipation, more than a little nervousness. It's an odd mix. I force myself to keep a calm demeanor and not get too worked up. It's difficult. I'm hopeful, but I don't know what for. I don't have a camera or even my cell phone. There's no way I could prove anything that happens. It's not like there's anyone who could vouch for me, say that I saw what I saw. For now, it's important that I keep it that way. This encounter, whatever it may be, will be mine and mine alone. Arriving at the clearing, I brace myself for what I might find. Nothing's changed. I'm met with silence. There's the faint sound of trees rustling in the wind and nothing more.
Hello? Are you out there?
I give it a moment, waiting and hoping for a response that never comes. Maybe it really was my eyes playing tricks on me. The light could have been a reflection of the sun, and the girl could have been... There isn't a doubt left in my mind that the girl was there. There's no way I didn't see someone. Frustrated, I kick at some of the mush on the ground. It splashes up and splatters my legs.
Are you there? I'm waiting. Please.
I feel like a fool. I'm pleading with someone that may or may not exist to manifest. If someone had told me like a week ago that I'd be here doing this today, I'd have laughed at them. Everything about this situation is unlike me. My irritation builds up. With myself, with Tara, with the stupid ghost light, with everything. Whatever was there is gone now. And really, what kind of an idiot convinces herself to come back for an imaginary date with a weird breeze? I clench my fist, looking without seeing. Slowly, I turned in circles, hoping for something. Anything. I traipse back and forth at an increasingly desperate pace, not really sure what kind of clue I'm searching for, but just knowing that I can't sit still. If I sit still, I'm giving up. And if I give up, then I really don't have anything left for me out here. For the second day in a row, I feel the sting of tears in my eyes, and I pinch my eyes shut to stop them. Not here. Not today. I hold my hand there and suck in a deep breath. The cold air stings my throat. I steady my breathing, fighting back the urge to cry. After a moment, once the urge is past, I lower my hand and open my eyes. Baby! Look at her! She's so cute! And she's there. So silently and so suddenly that it's like she was never not there. The mysterious girl stands before me, barefoot in the snow, but seemingly unfazed. She regards me with a curious look, her eyes wide like I'm the one who's out of place. Now that she's here, right in front of me, I realize that I don't know what to say.
Hello?
Is all I could muster. My voice comes out weaker than I expected. Her eyes go wide at my word. Her lips move, but no sound comes out. She mouths something else again, still without a voice. It's funny because this was one of the first visual novels that Studio Elon did. And then they would go on to make one called Without a Voice that we did on stream last year.
I can't hear you.
A frown. Gosh, she's so cute. I love her hair. And her purple dress. It's just... she's adorable. She turns away. Have I disappointed her? Is she going to disappear again?
Please don't go!
I don't know why I want her to stay. Something is clearly different. Unnatural. This isn't a normal girl. But that's exciting, in and of itself. The girl turns back around to face me again. She looks just as confused as I feel. There's a nervous sort of energy to her. Beneath the gown she's wearing, far too thin for the weather, the girl's legs are tense and ready to bolt. I take a step towards her, holding out my hand the same way I'd approach a kitten or a lost puppy. She looks like she's gonna cry. Baby.
My name's Madison. Can you understand me?
She still looks a bit nervous, but nods. So we speak the same language. That's good. Is she from Eisenfeld? I can't imagine she's from anywhere else. There's nothing else around.
You were talking, right? Just a bit ago. But I couldn't hear you.
Another nod. That means for whatever reason, her words can't reach me. Maybe she's naturally mute? Or maybe her voice was magically stolen? Every idea that comes to mind is more ridiculous than the last, but I consider them all equally. To my surprise, I'm able to remain calm and, by my standards, pretty level-headed. It seems like the girl is more afraid of me than vice versa. I drop my hand down, offering a handshake. Maybe she's too busy eating a large bowl of peanut butter and can't speak. She stares at it for a moment, maybe expecting it to turn into a snake or for me to shoot magic bolts from my fingers. When neither of those happen, she gingerly, slowly reaches for my hand. It passes right through me. Her fingers glide through the palm of my hand like a breeze disappearing into the air. With a sad smile, she looks down, seemingly expecting this result. This song, Communion, is her theme, our ghost girl. And it's one of my favorites. Like, this was my most listened to song last year, like 1,300-ish plays or something. Scenes with these two are the best? Yeah. If anyone in chat has gone through this before, please don't spoil anything for anyone else. Yeah, 1,300-ish plays. It might have been 14, I can't remember. That's how often I put this song on repeat. If I'm, like, doing something and I need, like, calming background noise, it's this. Horrific realization slowly dawns on me, with the same tinge of certainty that guided me out here. This girl isn't really here in the same way that I am.
You're a ghost.
A slow, sad nod. She looks apologetic about it, for inconveniencing me with her lack of a corporeal form.
I'm sorry.
The words feel weak and inadequate, and nearly like a non sequitur. But really, what do you say to a ghost? She shakes her head vigorously, hair flying about, trying to rid herself of some bad thought. She gives me a big smile and stretches her arms wide, turning about to gesture to the trees around us.
What is it? I don't understand.
The girl bites her lip, wondering how to better convey her message. Then, with a decisive nod, she points at me and then points at the ground between us. Pausing a moment, she holds that pose. And she points at the trees, in particular the path I'd come from, and shakes her head. A flash of fear knifes its way under my skin. Is she threatening me? She definitely doesn't look like it.
Something about where I came from?
She nods and then repeats the pointing, first at me, and then at the ground.
Me? Right here?
Another nod.
You're asking if I'll stay here?
She nods and claps, hopping up. She's so cute. I love her. Except she doesn't come down. She hovers there as if suspended by invisible strings, then slowly lowers herself back to the ground. I'm not sure if it's what she was going for, but I smile.
Are you showing off?
She laughs and nods, glad to be understood. Look at that face. Look at that fucking face she's making. That is smug if I've ever goddamn seen it.
I can stay for a bit, sure. If you want me to, I mean.
The girl practically zooms the short distance between us, moving with what might be supernatural speed. She stands so close that her gown phases through me, uncomfortable in its lack of sensation. And she nods again, this time solemn and hopeful. I can't fight the feeling that she could easily be getting some kind of trap or leading me astray, but I still don't get that impression from her. So I agree.
Okay, I'd be happy to. But I can't stay for too long, or Tara will start to wonder where I am.
Tara, again. For the first time since we arrived, I was able to fully push her from my thoughts. I was so overwhelmed by meeting this girl that Tara didn't even register on my consciousness. But now, there she is again. She's more haunting than the ghost. The ghost in question mouths Tara's name, one of the few words I can actually lip read.
The person I came here with, she's, back in the village.
The girl's eyes go wide and she points in the direction of the forest, then makes a dragging motion back to where we are. This one's easy to understand.
No, she's not coming here. She has no idea.
For the first time, I'm glad the girl can't speak because it means she can't ask me to elaborate. I don't want to think about Tara right now.
Anyway, were you here yesterday too? Watching me?
A nod, wholly unapologetic. Yeah, she doesn't have anything to apologize for. This is her forest. Hi, Maderu. You've missed some shit. Yeah, they're so cute together.
I thought so. I also thought I might be crazy, though. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised by either one.
She looks surprised. I wonder if she knows about the other supernatural occurrences in the forest. Maybe they're connected somehow. Heard she controls the forest? No. There's a different thing that controls the forest that we saw earlier.
The other day, my friend and I were out in the forest.
The tree behind her head makes it look like she has tiny white antlers. It do. Nod.
And suddenly, there was this huge snowstorm, out of nowhere. And we saw this giant thing.
I stretch my hands to indicate just how enormous it was, but the enormity and terror of it are impossible to convey.
I don't even know how to describe it. It was a monster of some kind. Like a huge tree had come alive and was walking in the snow. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not only does the girl nod, but she laughs, finding something funny about my story. Not sure if I should be worried or not.
So you've seen it. Is it, like, evil?
A firm shake of her head.
That's good. It was honestly the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
After that, we taper off into silence. Well, I do. I don't have reason to believe her, but so far she doesn't seem threatening at all. I have a hard enough time holding up my end of the conversation under normal circumstances. This just makes it even harder. The two of us just stand there, looking at each other. Now that she's not moving around so much, I'm able to get a better look at her. She seems to be around my age, if not a bit younger. Her hair is long and slightly unruly, reaching well down her back. She reminds me a bit of Rapunzel, all alone in the forest. A cute bow midway down helps keep her hair in place. Her wide eyes are curious, but slightly sad. Still, she smiles so easily that I wonder if I'm just imagining the sorrow. As green as emeralds, her eyes kind of remind me of Morgan's. I was so taken aback by her sudden appearance and, well, ghostliness, that at first I didn't realize she's beautiful. Her choice of attire makes a lot more sense now that I know she can't feel the cold. The gown she's wearing has a few dangling threads and scuff spots, which I assume haven't changed since she died. I shudder, trying not to think of my own mortality. What was it like? Why is she here instead of whatever usually happens when you die? Does she know what she's missing? An afterlife or lack thereof? I have a million questions about her life and life itself. There's so much I want to ask, but it's impossible. You are not immune to pretty ghost girl. I assure you she's not. Plus, we've only known each other a few minutes. It feels like that would be rude to ask right away. A thick snowflake lands on my cheek, startling me. I'd pretty much forgotten about the weather. Overhead, the clouds are getting worse, and the snow is starting to fall more heavily. As much as I want to spend more time with her, I really don't want to be caught out in a blizzard a second time. For my ghost self's sake, I hope when I die it's in a cute outfit. Stain.
I need to go back now, but will you be here again? I'd like to see you again. If you'd like that too.
Gay. She nods emphatically with a grin to match. I can't help but smile in return. It's nice to know someone is looking forward to seeing me.
Okay, I'll come back as soon as I can. I promise. Although, I'm not sure when the weather will let me do that. On the next sunny day, I'll be there, okay?
She nods.
Okay, I'll see you soon then. I hope.
The girl waves goodbye as I turn to leave, remaining in the center of the clearing. As I get my last look at her, I know that I'm not imagining the sadness in her eyes now. I glance back several times on the way back, each time expecting her to have disappeared once more. She stays there waving until the trees obscure her from sight. A splash of purple fabric against the brown and white of the forest. A little spark of light to look forward to. So yeah, Madero, she was the pink light that they were chasing that we saw last week. With almost every step I take, I cast a glance behind me. I keep expecting to hear the crunch of snow or spot a flash of red hair as Tara follows me. But there's nothing. I'm alone. I hurry through the woods practically on autopilot, Less than a week ago, I'd have never set foot in the forest on my own, but now I already have the path to the clearing memorized. Gives me extra time to worry. What am I even doing? Everything about this situation is extremely not me. Heading off on my own into a dark forest without telling anyone to go meet up with a ghost. Even thinking the word ghost still makes my heart lurch. I've seen her with my own eyes, and yet I still have trouble believing it. And I'm just trusting that she's not going to lead me to her lair and suck out my soul or something like that. I feel like Gretel, and I'm not even cautious enough to leave a breadcrumb trail. But still, I keep walking. There's something exciting in being on my own, in doing something without Tara. I can't remember the last time I had a secret from her. At least not a big one. Not telling her about the ghost girl feels a little bit like rebellion. I feel like I deserve something exciting that's all my own. She and Morgan can go do whatever. I doubt Tara will even notice that I'm not around. And if she does, it's something that she needs to get used to. I've tried to show her how to cut a video or frame a shot lots of times. It's her own fault if she still doesn't get it. Just like it's her own fault that she's missing out now. As I approach the clearing, I slow down a little. My usual trepidation overtakes me once again as I contemplate just how reckless this is. There's absolutely no guarantee that the girl isn't dangerous, that I'll walk out of these woods alive. Normally, I'd chastise Tara for following her gut instinct, which dictates probably 70% of her decisions. Yet that's all I have to go off right now. The feeling that I'm safe with the ghost girl, that she won't harm me. I cross the threshold of trees and into the clearing. Just like other times, it's serenely quiet. Even my past footsteps are gone, erased by the wind or snowfall.
I'm here.
Somehow, I feel like she already knows. The forest swallows my words, returning to frozen, pristine silence. Soundlessly, she steps out from behind a tree. A small smile sits on her face, though her eyes are slightly downcast. She waves, meeting my eyes for just a moment before glancing away.
Hi there.
My words hang in the still air.
Were you waiting for me?
We lock eyes again and she nods, quickly, earnestly.
I hope it wasn't for too long.
She shakes her head and then she laughs. I'm not sure what the joke is, though.
What? What's so funny?
When she catches her breath, she bites her lip as she ponders. After a moment, she shrugs, looking apologetic. I guess explaining a joke through gestures would be difficult. She sidles up next to me, and I fight the urge to step back. Though I've decided to trust her, my instincts still belie my nerves. But what she seems to be most interested in is the bag slung over my shoulder. She simulates opening the bag so that she can see into it.
Nosy, huh?
Immediately, she backsteps, waving her hands in a frantic, apologetic motion.
Sorry, I was just kidding. You can look.
She regards me like a timid deer as I hold the bag open for her to see. Inside are a couple books that I picked up in the village this morning. I hold up the first one, small and square and baby blue.
I got a really strange look from the person who runs the bookstore because of this one. It's a book of baby names.
Her eyes go wide and she grasps at her belly, then points at me. It takes me a second to understand what she means, and for some reason I feel my face flush.
No, I am not pregnant. But I thought maybe you could use it to show me your name? If it's a name that would be...
Before I can finish my sentence, she zoomed back over to me, all sense of personal space once again discarded. She clasps her hands, a fiery look in her eyes, and hops up and down. Frankly, it's adorable. That's because she is adorable.
Guess you're a fan. Okay, cool.
She eyes the book hungrily. She must be really excited to share her name with me. It's a little exciting for me, too. It's nice to see someone so happy about being with me. I fight to keep an overzealous grin off my face.
Okay, let's see.
I look around. Aside from trees and snow, there isn't much. I wonder if there's something about this place in particular that the girl likes.
Is there somewhere nearby where we could sit down? It feels a little weird to just keep standing.
Finger on her chin, she ponders. Then she turns and points towards the woods, even further in. I can tell from the look in her eyes that she's uncertain. I swallow a lump in my throat. I've come this far, after all.
Sure, that's fine. Lead the way.
Yep, just following a cute ghost girl farther into the forest. She does so, but never gets too far from my side. Every few steps, she glances over at me as if making sure I'm still here. It feels a little backwards to me, but in a nice way. I don't really feel compelled to break the silence either. Of course, part of that is because any conversation would be one-sided. But also, she looks content. Like she's just happy to be here. I am too. The silence doesn't feel vast and overwhelming like it has with Tara. It feels warm. Before too long, I realize what our destination is. This is nearly the same path that Morgan took us down just a couple dusks ago. I recognize some of the more grotesquely warped trees.
We're going to that church.
Eyes wide, she nods, probably surprised that I know of it.
One of the villagers showed it to us a few days ago. Me and my friend.
It feels weird to just call Tara my friend. Usually if I'm talking to someone about Tara, they've met her. The girl just nods yet again. As we reach the edge of the trees and the church itself comes into sight, I look around for traces of the monster we saw days before. There are none to be seen, though. No snapped or toppled trees. No footsteps as deep as I am tall. Much like the girl beside me, there's no trace of its existence. I look over to the door of the church where she's patiently waiting for me. Once again, I fight back all my fears and hesitations and head for the door too. It's too late to turn back now. The The door is still slightly ajar from our visit days ago. A thin trail of snow powders the entryway, but otherwise the church is dry. It's still unnaturally warm. I wonder if that has to do with the girl, too. From the way she walks, I can tell she's familiar with the place. She heads to the front, stopping just shy of the altar, where she turns around to face me. Being back here is a little unnerving, and I slowly approach her. She hasn't given me any reason to be suspicious. The image of those monstrous eyes is ingrained in my memory. But this time, there's no howling wind or earth-shaking footsteps. Just the one girl, waiting patiently. Oh, cuties. I give her a smile as I sit down on one of the pews near the front. It's hewn from stone, smooth and rigid. She takes a seat right beside me. Normally, being this close to strangers makes me uncomfortable, but with her, I don't really mind. Maddie, that's because you're gay. Part of it is, of course, that I can't feel her at all. But the other part is that it feels kind of pleasant to sit together like this. Yes, because you're gay. I hastily push that thought out of my head. She's a ghost. She is literally transparent and insubstantial. I rummage through the bag and grab the book of baby names. Maddie, your jacket should be rainbow. Well, they cover a rainbow between all four of the main girls' outfit colors and hair.
Okay, so, first?
She bounces up and down with anticipation as I tear off the plastic cling wrap and stuff it in the tote bag.
Is the first letter early in the alphabet?
She nods and holds up one finger.
I. L?
2 shakes of her head. She touches her index fingers together and then uses her middle finger to cross between them.
Oh, an A.
Enthusiastic nodding. I flip to the first couple of pages in the book, right in the middle of the A's. The first name I spot is Amber. Impatiently, she leans over me and motions to go farther back towards the start. I turn the pages slowly, giving her time to scan. I vibe with her impatientness. Ah, that's so cute! Look at her face! On the very first page, she holds out a hand to stop and points. She's practically hanging over my shoulder to show me.
Abigail. Your name is Abigail.
She gives me the biggest, most radiant grin I've ever seen as she nods. Her joy is infectious, and I can't help but smile too.
Abigail.
I repeat it, and she looks even more joyful. A beam of light breaks through the glass window, illuminating dust motes that make it look as if she's sparkling. We lock eyes, and I feel my breath catch in my throat. The look in her eyes, pure, unadulterated happiness, is something I've never seen before. They shine with tears, the good kind. The kind that bring out the color of her eyes. The radiant kind. I didn't know I could make someone happy like this. I quickly look away, back to the now irrelevant book in my lap.
Anyway, Abigail.
Gay panic! Gay panic!
I had a couple questions. Is that okay?
Abigail nods.
So, maybe this is kind of rude to ask, but are you a ghost? Or are...
Fuck. I clicked ahead too fast again. Abigail closes her eyes and, with a sad smile, nods.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what the appropriate response to something like that is.
Then, are you from Eisenfeld?
Nod.
Do you know a girl from there called Morgan?
She shakes her head. That makes sense. I'm sure Morgan would have mentioned her before, if so.
So have you, like, been a ghost for a long time then?
I cringe a little as I ask. It seems gauche, although I'm not entirely sure what proper etiquette is for this kind of conversation. Also, sorry, I'm gonna turn the music down just a wee bit. Sound. There we go. I was just having a little bit of a hard time hearing the dialogue over the music. In answer to my question, she nods again.
Do you know how long?
A shrug. She holds up 2 fingers, then 2 fists.
200?
Another shrug and a nod.
200 years.
I murmur it to myself in slight disbelief. It could be more. I doubt she's been keeping track of every day. The world out there, the world I come from, it may as well be another planet for her.
I'm sorry.
It's incomprehensible to me. I can't fathom that much time passing, unable to talk to anyone. How lonely that must be. She's closed her eyes yet again. Though I've been interpreting her silence as serene, I wonder if that's how she feels. Oh no, the sad gazer here? Do you know whose stream you're watching? The sad gays live here! These yes or no questions are practically the extent of what I can ask her. There's still such a gulf between who she is and what I know of her. Centuries worth of solitude.
In all that time, have you ever spent time like this with someone else?
Without opening her eyes or looking at me, she shakes her head again.
I'm the only one?
Nod. I fall silent too, my head still reeling. There are so many things that I want to ask and want to know. How did she die? Why did her spirit stick around? Does she know about the thing we saw in the snow? Why am I the first person she's shown herself to? But there's no way she could answer. And even if she could, I wonder if she'd want to. Is it impolite to remind a ghost that they're dead? It's morbidly funny to me that these are questions I have to ask myself. Tara would love this. Tara would... I pushed that thought out of my head. Tara's not here right now. It's just me and Abigail.
Would you like me to read that other book?
Her grin returns, the moment of melancholy dispelled. Seems I made the right call in changing the subject. I show her the cover before I crack it open, enjoying that new book smell.
This is a book I read a lot when I was younger. It's about a girl who wants to be a hero, so she goes on a quest with her best friend to prove herself.
I don't think that's a reference to any of their other works, because it was basically Highway Blossoms, then this. Because it was two different teams. They hadn't combined into the Studio Alon as we know it yet. So what story could that be?
It's a little childish, I guess, but maybe you'd like it?
Abigail claps her hands and nods. She's so innocent. I have a feeling I could read the dictionary to her and she'd be satisfied, but I don't mention that.
Okay.
I smooth a crease and open to the first page.
Once upon a time...
It's a story that I could probably recite by heart. My mom used to read it to me when I was a little girl, and it was one of the books that I used to learn to read. I was both surprised and excited to see that there was a copy in Eisenfeld's bookstore. I settle into an easy cadence of reading. Though I'm not used to reading out loud, it starts to feel pretty natural after only a couple of pages. Yeah, it really does kick in pretty quick. Other than, like, stumbling over words and stuff, like, it doesn't feel weird after only a little while. Like my mom used to do, I give all the characters different voices. I don't have quite the range that Mom does, but Abigail seems to enjoy it all the same. She smiles and laughs in all the right places. It makes my heart warm to see how much she's enjoying it. Her eyes are closed yet again, but she looks quite content. As we finish chapter 2, Abigail scoots a little bit closer and rests her head near my shoulder. I pause mid-sentence, surprised, but resume just a second later. They're so fucking cute, dudes. I can't. Abby and Maddie are my favorite. I love them. Though I can't feel her there, the sentiment is clear. I keep reading. Sometimes when I glance down, I can see that her eyes are open, reading along. Her lips mouth the same words I am. One time she catches me looking and blushes, but I just smile and continue going. After we finish chapter 4, I finally pause. My mouth is dry and my jaw is starting to hurt a little bit. I must have been reading aloud for close to an hour. Try 2 hours. I'm not gonna try and flex on someone reading a book, like, out loud for the first time ever. Even though I stop, Abigail doesn't sit up or open her eyes. Her hand rests on my arm, and I set the book aside. Do ghosts need to sleep? That's another question I can ask, but maybe at a different time. Right now, I'm happy to let her pretend. Quietly, I hum a song. It's something from the radio, a title I can't remember, but that's always stuck in my head. I'm extremely off-key, I'm sure, but I don't care. It just feels right. When I stop, she finally opens her eyes and sits back up. As we gaze at each other, she mouths 2 words that I don't have to be good at reading lips to decipher. Thank you.
No problem. I hope you like the story.
First she claps, then she places one hand over her heart. I laugh, flattered, but also a little embarrassed.
I think that's all I can do today, but we should read more sometime. If you want to, I mean.
I already know the answer, but she gives me an emphatic nod all the same. I'm kicking my leggies. Should have seen me the first time I read this. I was losing my mind here.
Okay. It's a promise.
If it wasn't obvious before, like, Jesus, Maddie. But, like, I would know what gay looks like. She touches her heart again, and I smile.
I should probably head back to the cabin soon. People will start to get suspicious if I'm gone for too long.
Abigail cocks her head like an owl. Curious.
I, haven't told my friends about you yet. It's sort of like our secret, I guess. And I want to keep it that way for a little longer.
She smiles in agreement. They're just so great, these two. They are. Once it starts getting dark, we say our goodbyes and part ways at the church. Same as when we first met, she watches me go until she vanishes from sight. As I head back towards the cabin, my head is swimming, or maybe drowning. It's hard to think of anything but Abigail. All alone, in the middle of the forest, for centuries. What's her story? I want to know, but I doubt I ever will. Yet I'm already looking forward to seeing her again. Even though in the back of my mind, I'm aware that Tara and I will only be here a few more weeks. It seems almost cruel, knowing that this is all so short-lived. If I were her, would I rather a few weeks of happiness just to lose it again? Or never have anything at all? Shakespeare already answered this one. You take the good stuff while you can. Not his words, of course. The question makes my head and heart hurt. The walk back feels like it goes by much quicker than my journey to the clearing and then the church. As I get closer to the cabin, I can see that the windows are dark. Tara must be in town or out with Morgan somewhere. I wonder if she noticed I was gone. My musing is interrupted by the sudden sound of footsteps in the snow. Ah, fuck.
Oh no.
The mayor steps out from behind a tree, just like Abigail did earlier.
Good evening, Madison.
Evening, Miss Mayor.
Where have you been?
You're not my mom. I freeze. Her tone is sharp, with no pretense of being conversational. Her glare is even sharper. Does she know about Abigail? Or about the forest spirit? Surely she would have mentioned it if so. My mind reels while I stall for time.
I was out for a walk in the forest.
I'm bad at lying, so I try to just tell her half-truths.
I can see that. Where did you go?
Why is it your fucking business? I get that you're the mayor, but, like, I can go on a walk in the trees if I want. Shit.
Around. I was just walking around. Needed the fresh air.
Alone? Where is your friend? Or my daughter?
With each question she asks, she takes a nearly imperceptible step closer. I shrug, trying to look indifferent. I don't think it's working.
I'm not sure. Tara and I had an argument earlier. I wanted to be alone.
An argument? Regarding what?
She's far too close for comfort now. Close enough that she could reach out and grab me by the throat if she wanted to. Still, I'm so taken aback by the nerve of her asking about my personal issues that my voice comes out stronger than I could have hoped for.
I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable talking about it.
The mayor regards me for a long moment. Her nostrils flare. I meet her gaze and don't look away, even though I desperately want to. I half expect her tongue to shoot out and taste the air like a snake. It feels as if she can see right through me. I'm almost certain that she knows I'm hiding something from her, more than just my argument with Tara.
I see.
She flips her hair and walks past me, heading into the forest.
Be careful, Madison. The woods are dangerous on your own.
The evil chuckle. I stand there, heart in my mouth, until the sound of snow under her feet fades into silence. Shuddering, I hurry the rest of the way into the cabin. A bright burst of light jerks me awake. A groan, getting... okay. So you see the little ballerina dancer now has gone from green to red. So that means it's now Tara's POV. I groan, getting ready to toss a pillow at Maddie and demand she turn the light back off. It's so bright it hurts when I try to open my eyes. But when I do, I realize the light is coming from the window. And it's not a window I recognize. Yeah, it took me a minute to kind of figure out when I first went through this that that's what was happening. Uh-oh. Tara and Morgan wake up naked in bed together, covered with blankets. Morgan is still sleeping while Tara is sitting up. Like I said, they fucking. And even more surprised here, what, you didn't realize they were fucking? Morgan is starting to stir next to me, an adorable little smile on her face. It's so cute that for a minute it distracts me from the fact that she's completely naked. It takes another second for me to realize that I am too. This sounds like classic Tara behavior. I have a feeling it is, given the, uh-oh. I yank the covers up to my chest to, well, cover myself. Memories of last night start to come back in bits and pieces. Going over our notes about something, and admittedly I might have gotten a little flirty. But next thing I know, we're kissing, books are on the floor, I hear papers crumpling underneath my butt. Once I said yes, she couldn't even wait to get on the bed before she started undressing me. Damn. Tara, don't sleep with your fans. And it's not that I'm complaining, but it was definitely the last possible way I thought she'd respond. At least now I remember why I'm sore. A little flirty for Tara would be, like, blunt as fuck for anyone else. Like, when Tara would go full-on flirty, I've got a feeling it would just be like everyone would know what's happening. Even the densest person on the planet. It isn't long before Morgan opens her eyes as well. The rest of her face doesn't move as she wakes up. She sleeps with that same blank face she has when she's awake.
Good morning, Tara.
Eepy. Her voice seems a little different. Softer, maybe? I have no idea, but it's kinda nice.
Hey, yeah, good morning.
I cringe at the sound of my own voice. It's way too loud. I need to do a better job of keeping my cool.
How'd you sleep?
This goober. Oh my god, Ari, hi! Hi, Raiders, welcome in! Here, hang on, let me get you a shout out there. You were playing, what's it, Valhalla, right? Is that Heart of the Woods I see? Yeah, and it's literally the moment where Tara wakes up in bed with Morgan. Yep. You guys showed up at a great time. For those of you who don't know, hi Raiders, I'm Lyla Morningstar. I'm a fallen angel with a love of 3 things. Giant robots, lesbian romance. I mean, you can take a look on screen right now. And killing gods. I'm really glad to see you guys. Ari, if you need to go take a break, go get some food and stretch or whatever, feel free. Go take care of yourself. Thank you for leaving your community with me. I hope I hope we can all have a good time here tonight. Finished day 12 of Valhalla. I haven't played it, but I've watched someone play through Coffee Talk, which I think is by the same people. I might need to revisit that. This is some of the pixel art. Nice. It's not the same developer, but a similar playstyle. Ah. Oh, Valhalla was the original. Okay. Well, I have lots of things to add to my list now. Still gotta check out Coffee Talk. It was pretty chill from what I remember. But yeah, so don't feel like you have to stick around if you need to go, you know, rest, eat, take care of yourself. You know, go right ahead. We're gonna continue on here. This is still chapter 2 of 5, but we just switched to a different character's point of view. And she woke up in bed with her fan. A lesson for all these content creators here. Don't do it.
Better than I have in a long time.
I smile.
Although you do snore. Loudly.
Yet another thing I share in common with Tara. I'll be popping in and out. I miss Heart of the Woods. It's so good. I try not to let my smile break. I mean, she's right, but only when I lay on my back. I try to think back on a long list of awkward morning afters and pick out a good comeback, but everything grinds to a halt as soon as I feel her lips press against my side. It's just a tiny peck, the kind I'd give a cute fan, but she also blows a tiny puff of hot air onto my skin that makes me shiver. I can feel my face turning as red as my hair and know that a comeback's not happening. That blush, oh my god, she's such a goober.
Tara, are you okay?
I need to say something to get back on top of this mess, but all I can do is stare down at her. Those bright green eyes, that soft face, messy orange hair.
Tara?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking that, well, you're cute.
Shocker. Hey, I've had worse lines. Can't see her face, but I think I hear her chuckle or something like it. I should probably get up too, but I can't help taking a minute to stare. Maddie always gets on me for being thirsty, but I think I earned it this time. Curves, her muscles. She's like someone asked me every last detail about what my type was and then turned her real. This village is a dream come true. My clothes are spread across the floor, and it takes me a minute to hunt them all down once I'm out of bed. Actually, that's how they usually are at home, too. Got more important things than clothes to keep in my dresser. Morgan's already dressed by the time I get everything together, with her hair back in its usual pigtails. Cute as they are, I kinda miss how it looked down.
Hey, so,
Is something wrong?
your mom isn't home, right? I'm pretty sure she won't be happy if she sees me coming out of your room first thing in the morning.
You made enough noise last night that she'd know anyway. I don't think she's going to do anything about it.
Ah!
Oh,
I feel like I'm burning up, but her expression is the same as ever. She's not even trying to be smooth, and she's still better at it than I am. And I'm already really good.
great, yeah, cool. Glad we don't have to worry.
I'm going to go make some coffee for us. That's my bra, by the way.
No wonder it felt so loose. She's out the door, leaving me to search for more clothing and think about the conversation Morgan and I are going to have when she gets back. Oh boy. I'm still thinking about what I want to say when she returns with the coffees, already chugging hers down. She's got the gay UFO, you can't really see it, but above it, it says Terra Normal. That's that's like the channel logo. Yeah, they used to sell a shirt. Actually, I'll bring it back up when we finish the whole game, because there's a follow-up thing that happens afterwards. That's its own thing called I Told You So. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. That's a few weeks away.
I usually make it strong, but I put plenty of cream and sugar in yours, so you should be fine.
I normally take it black, actually.
I saw your daily routine video. I know how you take your coffee.
Sleeping with a fan. I don't even know why I'm bothering with the usual cool routine at this point. I should just accept that I'm beat. I take a tiny sip of the coffee and nearly fall back down onto the bed. Even with cream and sugar, this is the strongest thing I've ever tasted. She drinks this black?
Is it too much? I can put some liquor in it if you want.
Oh, Morgan, that's great.
Isn't it like 8 in the morning?
It'll help warm me up.
Yes. Why do you ask?
Shit's different here in Eisenfeld, okay? I sigh and take another bitter sip. The last thing I need right now is alcohol.
Hey, so I think we need to talk.
Sure. What about?
I'm not sure if she doesn't know or doesn't care what I'm about to say about what I'm going to say. But from the way she's acted so far, I'm pretty sure it's the second one.
Look, you're a really great person. I really like hanging out with you, and I had a great time last night.
I know.
Damn, Morgan. I know you had a good time last night. Wow. She needs to stop making me blush. I probably look the same way Mads does every time I try to introduce her to a cute girl.
I just want to make sure we're clear on what that was all about. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I mean, I'm not really the dating type, and I'm gonna be leaving in a month. I'm happy to do stuff like this as long as it's...
Tara.
She's like, bitch, I know. She doesn't sound frustrated or upset. If anything, her voice is softer.
We talked about this exact thing last night. You're cute, you're fun, and I really enjoyed having sex with you. But that's all this is, and neither of us expect or want anything different. You don't have to give me any excuses.
Blunt as ever. She takes another sip of coffee as I breathe a sigh of relief. All that worrying for nothing.
Great! Awesome, cool. Yeah, I'm glad that's settled then.
You should feel relieved, relaxed, all that good stuff. With the rough part out of the way, I can go right back to being as intrepid and charming as always. So, why do I feel like I'm the one who got let down here? This kind of thing shouldn't bother me, even if it didn't go the way I'm used to. This is why I hate taking time to think about things.
So, did you make that sweater yourself?
Her game is so off. Morgan's eyes widen at my question. Looks like I found a good way to move on.
I did, actually. My ex showed me how to knit a few years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. It's a nice way to pass the time. If you want, I could make you something to take home when you're done here.
That'd be super cool! Everyone I know wears coats like Maddie's, or one of those big puffy marshmallow coats. I'm sure some hand-knit stuff would break the mold.
Yes, because that's what's important here. Breaking the goddamn mold.
The fact that you insist on going investigating in nothing but a light jacket made me assume you didn't like coats in general.
That's a way to put it.
Maybe I was just waiting to get in on the hip cool fashion trend.
I catch her smiling in between sips. She might act different, but I get the feeling we're on the same wavelength for some things. I mean, obviously, since we ended up together, but still. Well, not together, of course, but...
I thought it was because of your shirt. You wear that same moon shirt in every vlog you do. I didn't expect it to be the same way in real life.
It was actually Maddie's idea, believe it or not. Something about having a, visual brand for the sake of the show. I figured my winning smile would be enough, but... I mean, as long as people like it.
I didn't realize she was that invested in the show. I figured she didn't care that much.
Oof. Ouch. Hearing her mention how distant Maddie seems is a Pretty painful reminder of how much things have fallen apart between us.
She used to be. Back when we started, she was a lot more invested in this whole thing. We've been inseparable since high school, and I figured she was really excited to keep that bond going strong.
That's pretty incredible. I don't think I've had any friendships that lasted more than a year.
Good God. Well, I mean, Eisenfeld does seem kind of shitty. I realized that she hasn't mentioned a single friend since we got here. I guess claiming your cat talks to you probably doesn't score you points with anyone other than me.
Oh yeah, it's been like around 10 years or something. Don't tell her I told you this, but we actually met because we were both total goths.
Goth Maddie? I wonder, there's gotta be fan art of that somewhere. I jump when Morgan suddenly bursts into laughter. I've only known her for about a week, but it feels weirdly unlike her. Probably because it's the most emotion she's shown since we've met, and that includes last night.
I can't imagine Maddie walking around with raccoon eyes and dyed hair.
Damn, raccoon eyes.
You have no idea. She was goth enough to put me to shame. Always talking about the darkness in her soul. Chilling with all other cool goth kids, calling herself Raven. It was great.
Raven. I've got a feeling that's, like a nod to the what's it? My Immortal, that one fanfic. I don't know for sure, obviously, but it feels like it has the same energy.
You were part of a group? Do you keep in touch with any of them? I'd hope at least one of them kept the look.
My smile fades away as I look away from her. She couldn't have known that asking that would bring back bad memories, so I don't blame her. But the memories are still there.
Not really. Most of them stopped talking to me when I told them I was trans, and the rest bailed as soon as I started to actually transition.
Motherfuckers.
Maddie was the only one who really stuck up for me. I'll never forget that.
Morgan puts down her now empty mug. I'm not even halfway through mine.
I'm so sorry, Tara. I didn't mean to.
Nah, forget it. It's seriously okay. The whole thing is ancient history now.
That isn't a lie. I feel a hell of a lot better about the whole thing now that I know I'm doing way better than any of them. I can tell Morgan doesn't buy it, though. Better switch up the subject. Yeah, Tara is trans, and so is her voice actor. Also, let it sink in. Tara is trans and is a major, some sort of major content creator in the paranormal space. And is seeing enough success to get, like, sponsorships and shit. She's winning. Sorry, I really needed a drink.
Anyway, after that, the two of us were inseparable all through high school. We even picked the same college so it'd be easier to stay in touch.
Aww.
The only time our friendship was ever on the rocks was... well, maybe we shouldn't talk about that.
Don't fucking... Listen, when you're talking about stuff, you can't just go bringing something up and be like, oh no, I shouldn't talk about that, he he he, I'm being so coy. No, fuck you. You brought it up. Finish what you were saying. I try not to grin when I see Morgan's eyes widen. Got him.
You wouldn't say that if you weren't going to tell me.
Well, I don't know.
She leaves her mug on the table and moves closer to me. I definitely saw her smile for a second there.
The Tara I know would never pass up a chance to tell a story.
Well, if you insist. Maddie and I actually dated once, for a few weeks, back when we first started college. Everyone we knew was pairing off, so we figured we should try it too. It's our secret shame.
Secret shame!
I'm not surprised. You two would make a terrible couple.
Ha ha ha. Get it? Terrible. Ah. I said that to myself when I first saw that, and I laughed to myself for a solid 10 minutes.
Geez, blunt much? You're not wrong, though. It nearly killed our friendship. Thankfully, we called it off and went back to being friends. We haven't had any trouble since.
Have you?
Until now.
I fucking love Morgan. She's just ripping the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, until now.
So much for lightening the mood.
I don't know. I guess her deciding to walk away from everything we built together doesn't exactly make me feel jazzed about our friendship.
Her having different priorities doesn't have anything to do with friendship.
What, like going back to school? She hated school. So either that's some bullshit excuse, or she just hates working on Terranormal even more.
She was talking about coming back. Having real proof seems to have changed her mind.
And then what? She goes along with it for another few months and gets sick of it? I can't deal with that again.
I can tell I'm getting louder, but I don't care. I haven't had a chance to let any of this out since it happened. Morgan, of course, doesn't even flinch.
The thing is,
Now she's acting like she wants to be in on the action again? Am I really supposed to believe that she wants to commit to this?
Maybe?
but she...
I'm not an idiot. It's not like I'm ignoring the fact that she keeps running off to the woods to be by herself. I'm supposed to just be cool with that?
Tara!
I'm so sick of all this bullshit. Maybe I'd just be better off without her.
Tara!
She put her foot down. I jump as her voice drowns mine out completely. This burst of emotion isn't funny. It's honestly kind of terrifying.
Stop. Just stop. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't want Maddie to leave the show, but you're refusing to listen to her when she talks about coming back. You don't want to lose your friendship, but you're freezing her out when she tries to make connections again. I love your show. You know I do. But there are more important things in your life than talking about Bigfoot in front of a camera.
Holy shit. What the hell was that? She just shot through my bullshit like some kind of forest-dwelling therapist. How am I supposed to respond to all that? All I can do is sit back down on the bed and let it wash over me. She sits down next to me and takes my hand in hers. She gives it a little squeeze and I squeeze back. I can already feel myself starting to calm down. When Morgan speaks again, her voice is back to its normal flatness.
Talk to her. Tell her how you feel and what you need. You can't spend your whole time with me and expect her to feel appreciated.
I don't want to leave you out, though. You're the whole reason we're here. Plus, I really like spending time with you.
I do too. But we'll have plenty of time together. You're here for an entire month.
Yeah, of course.
I love how Tara's actually got, the bedhead going on right now. She don't got a brush with her. The word month makes me feel a weird little pang in my chest. For some reason, I don't want to think about how temporary this is. I let go of her hand to take another sip of coffee. It's barely lukewarm now, and I consider just spitting it back into the cup. That definitely wouldn't be a good look, though. Oh, this song, I think it's Restless One? Yeah, this is Morgan's theme.
Do you want me to take you back to the cabin?
I think I'm gonna do a little more investigating here first. Give myself some time to think about what I want to say to Mads.
That's a good idea.
Hey, first time for everything.
She lets out another little laugh. It's not nearly as big as her earlier one, but it's really nice to hear it after all that heavy stuff.
I'll go set up shop then. Come see me when you want to ride back.
Phrasing?
You got it.
I stand and stretch, scanning the room one more time to see if I'm forgetting anything.
Wait, are those my panties?
Yeah, you're wearing mine.
Way to go, Tara. You absolute dumbass. I try to will myself not to blush, determined not to let her get one more fluster in.
Shit, sorry. I can change real quick.
It's fine. You can wear them. Just give them back when you're done.
My cheeks are burning again. So much for that.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I guess I'll see you later then.
Sure. You know where to find me.
Without thinking, I lean forward and press my lips against hers. They're soft, somehow not nearly dried out by the cold air as mine are. Morgan's a real freak, for real, for real. No, she's just... I feel like she just knows how to deal with Tara's type. Wait, why am I doing this? I jerk my head away, expecting to be met with an angry glare, but all I see is the corners of her mouth twitch up for a split second before she's back to neutral. Could be worse, right? This ain't Morgan's first rodeo. I doubt there's anyone as dense as Tara in Eisenfeld, though. Either way, it's definitely time for me to get the hell out of here. I head for the door, but something stops me before I actually leave.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I don't know what I'm thanking her for. I'm not sure if she knows either. I'm out the door and back into the village square, doing my best to leave my confusion behind me. I've got more important things to think about right now. I've got to think about what I'm going to say to Mads. Tell her I'm sorry for being an idiot. That I don't want this to screw things up more than it already has. But as I think about that, I realize I've got one more problem when it comes to her. If she finds out I slept with our host, she's gonna kill me. And that's where we're gonna call it for tonight. I think that is a perfect line to call it on tonight. We normally only go for around 3 hours-ish anyway, and we started at 9 tonight, so we're just about... Don't worry, Tara, I think she knows. I mean, yeah. And lemon taste. Considering whose name in the chat is literally one up from yours. Phrasing. But also, that's a term I haven't heard used in forever. Lemons. For your smutty fanfics. Good term. Yeah, it's mainly just fallen out of use over time, but I think it's quite funny. Uh, so yeah, let's see, who do we gotta go? Oh, sick. We're gonna go bother Tag. He's playing Oblivion Remastered. Um, okay, someone in his chat, there's a pinned message in Tag's chat. Uh, that way you won't have to run back and forth pursued by an angry horse that you just fisted. So that's Oblivion, all right. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for stopping by. Thank you Ari for the raid. It was really nice. Thank you. And yeah, we'll go bother Tag. He's doing Oblivion things, so that's always going to be some good bullshit. I will see you. Oh, uh, browser audio came back on. Yeah, I will see you guys on Friday, and we'll talk more a bit then. Until then, have a great rest of your night, rest of your day, rest of your week, and I'll catch you later, demons.